there's only room for one true superstar on the Cowboys. He's sending a daunting message to his team. The longer you wait, the more money you're going to pay to declare war on one of his star players, just for the sake of wanting to win the right to say he made things uncomfortable. I guess Jerry Jones deserves both credit and criticism. Jerry Jones is basically telling him, I am your guy. And he's enjoying the spotlight yet again, trying to show he's got all the muscle when it comes to negotiating. The ability to be a billionaire and negotiating with millionaires. Hear all the criticism that, hey, the longer you wait, the more money you're going to pay. And Jerry Jones is just kind of like, okay, cool, whatever. I mean, that is the alpha in the room in negotiating. In Dallas, the star on the Cowboys helmet represents an individual as much as it does a franchise. And the star is Jerry Jones. And he's enjoying the spotlight yet again as training camp begins for the Cowboys in California. Leave it to Jerry Jones to declare war on one of his star players just for the sake of wanting to win the right to say he made things uncomfortable, I guess. I guess that's the motive here. Why else would you make an obvious contract extension for Micah Parsons seem like it's a player who's unworthy of his asking price? I don't pretend to sit here and claim that I know the business world the same way Jerry does. Only he really knows the answer as to why he enjoys being the last of an off-season group to pay his star players. And while waiting, he loses money over the term of the lifetime of the contract extension. Instead of just signing Parsons earlier, the pass rush market, it's been reset a few times now, with big deals for Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt most recently. So Jerry Jones is now going to pay more, even though it doesn't seem to bother him. I think he gets a rush out of this. And this is where I pause and say Jerry Jones deserves both credit and criticism. The credit is he's the general manager of the Cowboys. He drafted Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Think about how many franchises have the football guy in the general manager chair, and they don't come close to selecting players like that, like the Cowboys have drafted. The criticism is that he sits and waits until other owners extend their top players, and then he gets around to signing his. And by that time, the market's reset, and, Dak Prescott ends up happening. Instead of working a contract earlier in the timeline, Jerry waited and waited, and he paid for it. Prescott is the highest paid player in the NFL. He averages $60 million a year. And while the recent crop of quarterbacks are averaging around 55 or so, 60 a year for a negotiation that could have been wrapped up months earlier with Dak. Then there was CeeDee Lamb last year, or nearly a year ago. It was August 8th when Jones said publicly that he didn't have any urgency to get a deal finalized with his top wideout. And that statement made CeeDee Lamb repost the press conference with an LOL. And then shortly thereafter, before the season, Lamb signs a huge contract. Justin Jefferson did his deal first, which no doubt made the Cowboys pay a bit more to Lamb than what they likely would have paid him had they just signed him earlier without the drama. And that's where we're going to see Parsons eventually bubble up to the surface, because Jones doesn't handle his business like other organizations. The Eagles, for instance, they signed Devontae Smith to a contract extension last year. He's relevant because he was selected 2 picks ahead of Parsons. Same draft. One player signed without drama or distraction. The other waits. Last year, CeeDee Lamb, a holdout. And currently, Micah Parsons isn't. He reported to the start of training camp, but not to negotiate. No. Adam Schefter reported the Cowboys haven't even made their initial offer to Parsons yet. There's been no discussion over terms. No. Instead of just trying to pay the player you're going to pay, Jones wanted to speak on the status of Parsons' deal and made sure to even work in a dig at Dak.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
I know he mentioned 6 games. He may have been injured 6 games. He only missed 4 games last year because of injury. Micah Parsons knows what's up here. He had a front row seat to this on 2 previous occasions for Prescott and Lamb. He knew he was going to be dealing with Jerry Jones. He told The Undertaker this on the 6 Feet Under podcast.
We obviously want to get done early. We want that relief off our backs, but obviously ownership is always going to make it drag out, make it more complicated than it has to be. Lack of communication in that standpoint. But, I just always say, God has me this far. He ain't done with me yet. So, I just keep working, keep going. And then when it come, I'm going to be ready. But, it ain't going to be no drop-off.
No, I believe Micah Parsons there. Jerry Jones is basically telling him, I am your God, because he's making him wait. On top of all of this, there's Diggs, Trevon Diggs. The Cowboys, just like all of the teams, they want to keep close watch on players who are rehabbing injuries or who have been through injuries in the past. And Diggs has a clause in his contract that lowers his salary by $500,000, $500,000, if he doesn't rehab or work out a certain amount of time at the Cowboys facility in the offseason. So this de-escalator clause, it's at the discretion of the team. They don't have to enforce this. And in fact, it's believed the Cowboys have never enforced this clause until now. Diggs needs to show his face more often. Just ask Jerry.
Any frustration, because you talked about leadership and that kind of thing, and it's in its contract, but any frustration that, hey, we had to take money away from Diggs because he's not showing up, working out at the facility the way you want him to?
No, he didn't earn it. He didn't come. That's in his contract that he doesn't get that unless he's going to be here. And think about it a minute. Do you have to go to work and show up, all that kind of stuff? Of course you do. We all do. And bottom line is that those are contractual things, as Stephen said, and it would be very detrimental to the team not to abide by the agreement.
There's Jerry. Again, it's been reported, it's thought that they've never really enforced this in the past. But yet, here's Jerry enforcing it. And this goes back to 2023 with Diggs. Tore his ACL, and now has just had another procedure on that same knee this past January. Well, he was doing his own thing in Florida, I believe. And, well, he wasn't doing it where Jerry wanted him, or where the contract stated he needed to be a certain percentage of the time. So he's docked $500,000. I think he can afford it. So can Jerry, by the way. He could waive that, no problem. He has signed his stars to big, lucrative contracts, and he's sharing with us the fact that he's not happy with the return on investment so far. I mean, that's how I take this. His stars, they have to begin to shine beyond just the regular season, because no matter what they may think, there's only room for one true superstar on the Cowboys, and it's the owner. But that hasn't stopped all of us from raising an eyebrow to comments and statements that he makes about possibly, well, the best player on his roster in Parsons, who is one of the best players in the NFL. And when Jerry works in other star players into his reasoning behind the slow motion tactics, it catches the attention of everyone, including J.J. Watt, who posted this on X. He said, anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously, right before the season begins, you just got to take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. I wish you guys could see how small this print is for me to read. Or maybe I'm just blind. But I swear I'm not that stupid. Although I did think, did I get all the words right? Okay, yes. Thank you, Tyler. My man. Micah Parsons sees this, and reposts it. And, well, Parsons is also showing up to camp. I commend Micah Parsons for that because he knew what was coming here. Jerry Jones wants his stars to produce far more than he has seen so far. I don't blame him. And, well, if you're just trying to figure out who's the alpha in the room, Jerry's telling all of us, hey, I'll wait for the market to be reset and then set again. So what? Bring it on. I'll make everyone wait. As far as this division goes, the commander-in-chief wants the Commanders to revert back to the history of the franchise by bringing back the Redskins. We wait to hear from Commanders owner Josh Harris, Commissioner Roger Goodell even, anyone. Because the White House confirmed the president is 100% serious about returning the nickname to the fan base of the sport. He said the same about the Indians in Major League Baseball, but the Cleveland Guardians, their president of baseball operations, responded and said that the franchise just looked forward to building upon their future as Guardians. The Commanders haven't said anything. Keep in mind, though, it was Goodell that wanted this name gone. They were whitewashing everything that had anything to do with Dan Snyder. And Josh Harris, he's not going to be the owner of this franchise if he intended on bringing that name back. It was the Washington football team. And Harris was asked about this whenever he first was approved as an NFL owner. And he said he really thought about it. Well, that's because he was told not to. The sins of Daniel Snyder have been washed away. And so have the memories of the trash can that was that organization then. And I'm all for bringing the name back. But I wouldn't look to Harris for comment. I would look to Goodell. And look at the organization now. A Super Bowl contender, wanting a brand new stadium, and all of the politics that go into that now come to the forefront with President Trump saying, yeah, you want the stadium, I want the name back. So do many of their fan base, by the way. Many of their fans absolutely want the name back. And, you know, how quickly they changed the name. The Redskins name, I think, had as much to do about momentum against Snyder at the time. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Indians just immediately just said, take our name and do whatever you want to with it. We'll take the Guardians and love it. 4 years. It doesn't feel like 4 years, but we may be waiting another 4 years for comment from the NFL. Coming up, Bobby Carpenter joins the program. We talk all things college football. I'll get his opinion on Jerry Jones and the negotiation tactics. I guess negotiation. Schefter's saying they haven't even talked yet. They have not actually had a formal offer proposed to Micah Parsons. What about the drama right before camp? Bobby Carpenter joins us next year on Hot Mic.